Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. Today, I wanted to talk about pricing for the actual event. So I've gotten some good questions from prospects and clients alike on, what do you think of my pricing? And I have a lot of thoughts on pricing, and we've done a lot of things, and I'm just going to share with you what we do and what things that we've noticed don't work. And so I actually have a client that was previously doing pricing per person. So it was, I can't remember the dollar amount, but let's just say $25 or $30 per person. And then you had to do this math formula, math equation quiz or whatever to figure out how much you were actually going to pay for the event. And what I told them was, on the thinking of why I don't like that. And I could be completely wrong. And if you have a venue that is just thriving, you're just filling up your calendar and you have it priced similarly, then I'd like to hear from you what market you're in, how you're doing it, because clearly, if that's working really well, then great. But from my experience, it doesn't work so well. And so what the thinking is behind that is we want to make the pricing simple. I always want the potential customer to get to yes easily and as easily as possible. So I try to remove barriers to that yes. And if one of those is I have to sit down and pull out my calculator and do a word problem and a math equation and then solve for y, then or x, whatever, then it's just going to deter me a bit. And so in sales we want to remove friction. We want to make it easy to say yes, and we do that through having a phenomenal offer. And sometimes the part of that offer is how it's packaged. And so that packaging is the pricing. And so what I told this particular client is, hey, let's not change the actual price, but let's just change how you present it. And so they made the adjustments, and after just a couple of weeks, they were already seeing a dramatic improvement in the response to the pricing, even though the price didn't change. And so that's the important thing to know here is, especially in this regard, I'm not advocating for you to just lower your pricing or something like that. Obviously, if you're priced way too high for what the market will give you, then that's one thing. But they were getting sales, they got plenty of sales. And so the argument was that they could get more, and this was one way to help get more. And so like I said, they had already started seeing after just a couple weeks some good improvement in the response to it. And so that's one piece. In terms of pricing in general, I know everybody talks about, let's look at what our competitors are doing, and let's, just based off of that, maybe be a little bit cheaper or a little bit more, this, that, and the other. And referencing Alex Hormozy, who is a multimillionaire, self-made multimillionaire business guru. And one thing that he likes to say is when you do pricing like that, the secret is all of your competitors don't know what they're doing either. And so they're all doing the same thing and they're picking a price that they think will work when really it's the price that the market will bear. And so often we can actually charge a bit more if we have a really good offer. And so it's all about re-evaluating your offer. And I don't mean, oh, look at my beautiful venue. I mean, what are you doing to make the day and the environment special for your couples? And so that can have a huge impact on your price. The other thing when thinking about pricing, because everybody's is different. Are you luxury? Are you best deal in town? Are you um, John Boy's backyard ranch where it's like a donkey and a fence? And like those are huge differences. Not every venue can charge the same price or make the same demands. How full is your calendar? Do you have scarcity there? And so we want to be contemplating those things. Are you starting out? If you're starting out and your calendar isn't full and you're trying to charge top dollar, that's going to be very difficult because you don't have the the backing of scarcity behind you. You'd have to make some up with, oh, this deal is ending in 2 weeks, or this is good today only at the open house. So there's lots of little techniques that you can do to adjust the pricing along the way. But when you're evaluating your initial pricing, I mean, it's not wrong to look at the competitors. We did, and we got a good idea. But then we had other plans in mind. So the thing that I rarely think about, and I actually couldn't tell you what my competitors are charging, because really, I don't care. What I'm trying to do is figure out for myself and my business where it is that I can get the most profit or the most money down, or however you want to think about it, where I can make the most money and still maintain a high level of bookings. And so that's where I want to live, and we continually try to find that. So our method is to start low. And when we started out, we started low and we then started increasing our rates just so we can get things on the books and get the ball rolling. Especially when you're starting out fresh, got nothing on the books. Let's say it's a brand new venue or you bought from somebody who wasn't running it right, then you got to have time to build that up, and so you're going to take some price cuts on the beginning just to start fire selling those dates so you can get weddings in and cash flowing and that sort of thing. But once your calendar is already filled up, what we do is we slowly over time, pretty steadily over every quarter or so, we start to increase our price by, $250 at a time. And we have been able to do that consistently since starting, and so we just keep doing that, and we'll probably stop once we see a dramatic reduction in bookings. I shouldn't say dramatic, but a bigger reduction in bookings that stays consistent. So we never raise our price if it hasn't been consistent at that new price. And so we see an initial jump, and then if it holds there, then great, we'll push it to the next one. And then if it doesn't, we'll come back down. But you're never making these huge swings to where you are worried about the fallout, or you're not if a past bride who paid, so let's say they paid significantly more and the price comes down by a lot, then you're not worried about them finding out, that sort of thing. So if you do it in smaller increments, it's usually a lot better to manage. And that's what we found. When we adjust the price, I mean, sure, initially you're trying to get a good idea, get your bearings in the industry, but we just focus on us. We focus on improving our solution, and so we set our pricing accordingly. And then when you get add-ons, then you can price those pretty similarly. With our add-ons, we like to be a little bit below what another vendor could do. So for instance, our photo booth, we charge lower than the vendor in town who offers that as a service. So we offer more value, but we also make it as a closed vendor item. So if they want to get a photo booth, it's got to be ours. If they bring in somebody else's, they're also going to pay for ours. And so we price it accordingly, so it's not like strong arming them into paying way more for ours because we can. And so it's also about being just fair and good people as well. So of course we're in business, we want to make a lot of money, but it's just also don't be a dick. And so that's the one caveat I can say about that. So hopefully this was useful for you, and if you're struggling with pricing, just get an idea for where it should be, and then always be willing to play around with it until you find a good spot and a steady cadence. And if you found this useful, please like, share, subscribe. And if you didn't, then I will catch you in the next one. And one day I will get you to admit that you got something useful out of this. But until that time, I'll see you in the next one.